St. Johns County taking bold steps. Whenever they say something like that, I imagine they're not actually taking bold steps to ensure developer accountability for County Road 210 and East Road construction. There were recent concerns by St. Johns County residents, and this is much more than recent. I mean, it's just years. Following of different projects, not just this project, following the groundbreaking of the $15 million widening project for County Road 210. They say it sparked questions regarding the developer accountability, regarding this developer accountability. In response, the St. Johns County Board of County Commissioners has taken measures to address these inquiries and try to make sure that the Beach Walk developer fulfills their obligations concerning the designated road expansion. Let's see, on December 5th of 2023, the County Commission approved a memorandum of understanding. We talked about this a little bit, mandating Twin Creeks Development Associates, the Beach Walk developer, to cover the expenses associated with the widening of County Road 210 from the western boundary of the Beach Walk community to C.E. Wilson Road. It's a conversion from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, and they say it's a pivotal aspect of the ongoing project. The board underscored what they say is the steadfast determination to safeguard taxpayer dollars and affirming not a single penny would be allocated to developers' road projects under their watch. Legal action is being pursued, I guess, against developers who fail to fulfill their road obligations with construction halts imposed until their compliance is achieved. Greg Caldwell, St. Johns County Director of Public Works, highlighted responsible fiscal management practices. He noted that over $100 million in transportation projects are currently underway, with developer contributions predominantly funding those endeavors. County Road 210 West project, as an example, they say, where developer contributions surpassed $24 million for the construction of costs, supplemented by transportation impact fees. I have to imagine they're not going to cite the situations where they haven't covered all of the fees for the roads and such. They concluded by reiterating, they say that the Board of County Commissioners' dedication through approval mechanisms for transportation improvements, such as mandating developers prepay road impact fees. I kind of like that, except we've talked about before that those costs go up so fast to put up roads. So if you are building a development for 3 years and you commit to prepaying this certain amount, by the time you're actually building some of those roads, the cost of those roads could have skyrocketed by then.
Yeah, well, and the thing is,
those costs may not be covered.
And Pete, when people got really mad at me because we screwed up on World Golf Village. It was a DRI, and the developer. We were so happy to have them here in St. Johns County, and we're like, oh my gosh, we got World Golf Village, but we didn't do a good job on the park side. We didn't do a good job on the road side. But we learned from it. And I can tell you an example. I'll give you an example that happened with Palencia. Palencia, I made everybody put in the parks first before they built. Like a lot of times you'll see parks go in before you see the house. It happened in Aberdeen. It happened in Rivertown. It happened in Durbin Crossing. But that was part of the DRI criteria. And when it came to Palencia built the park. And then when it came to turn it over, they're like, no, we're going to keep it. And I say, no, you're not going to keep it. And they're like, yes, we are. We're going to keep it. So I went to the building department and said, don't issue another CO, certificate of occupancy. And believe it or not, the next day they turned the park over because they had like 4 houses waiting to be sold. And the only way they make money is if they can sell those houses. Sure. You can't sell the house until you have the CO. I mean, if you build the house, building the house is one thing, and go ahead and let them build it, but don't issue the COs on any more houses until they pay this bill.
Yeah.
And
that's cutthroat.
It works effectively. But it's them trying to say, hey, we're trying to do this, and they're going to try. I mean, I don't blame the developers. I've been on both sides of this. I don't blame the developers trying to get as much as they can and get as much cash in the bank. But you committed to one thing, and that was to do these road developments as a part of what you're allowed to, make all this big bank. You best pay that or stop the COs, stop the certificates of occupancy, and no one can move in until that actually gets taken care of.
Wow.
Do you think they'll actually take that step? Do you think that'll be something that'll be on the table if developers decide to not put up all the money for these things? Do you think they'll actually take those steps like you did?
Yeah, no, I think they have to do that. I mean, that's really the only card you have. And the county's in a position of power. When you're in a position of power, don't give up your power because you're going to end up losing the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what this is. It's a card game that goes back and forth. Don't give up I didn't give up my power when it came to that one particular park. And by the way, the developer was so angry with me when I went into development. I met him like 5 years later, and he's like, "You're that guy."
Oh, no.
But we became friends.
Were you at a concert? Yeah.
No, we were at a meeting where we were doing a shared development
You're
together.
that guy.
At a meeting.
Yeah.
And he goes, I was like, "Aren't you glad I'm on your side this time?" He goes, "Hell yeah."
Boy, Pete and I went to Palencia a couple weeks ago to see a friend's comedy show. Honestly, that's a whole nother country out there.
No, they did a beautiful job. They did an absolute beautiful job. And what they were trying to do, and I understand it, is they kind of wanted to keep their own little country or their own little island there.
Uh-huh.
And where the park was right next to the school, and they hadn't even built the school yet. They wanted to control their front entrance because it's right there in the front entrance. And
so that makes sense. So they moved the gated community back. They also have a community in front of the gates. Now everything is coming back to me, Celine. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of how the county has control of Palencia.
Okay.
So it was always in that development order and stuff like that. But I had to take some really, really aggressive measures to make sure it didn't happen. I felt bad for the 4 people that had already bought the house and were ready to move in.
Yeah.
Because I delayed their purchase probably by a week.
Say it again, Mufasa.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I felt really bad for them because it wasn't their fault. It was the development as they were going through. And they did a fine job. They did exactly, I don't want to pick on Palencia. They did a fine job of doing that development. It's a great place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hope the commission keeps holding people's feet to the fire when it comes to this stuff, for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, the COs is how you can control this. So.
Okay. It's a good idea. Let's see if they do that.